AITA for skipping my friend's birthday without warning because his GF calls me, the typical GBF. Am I the asshole? Particular anxious 208. In ta but don't t keep it to you. First, your parents are angry. It's unfair. Tell them what happened and that you didn't want the GF to ruin the birthday if you came. Second, tell Miles. Why tell him the same? You didn't to ruin the birthday. As his GF told you she will supervise you. And you didn't want her to ruin the birthday if she considered you weren't at your place. That you asked him to do something but as she continued to warn you. You preferred avoid coming. But now your parents are mad at you. And you missed an important date. So you are the one punished in that situation. Hope he'll understand. Not only what happened to you, but his GF is mad and her jealous is really too much. Lizab 77. 397. 7. You've known Miles for 20 plus years. And his family is close with your family. Your not being at his party was noticed. And you're taking all the blame for Lindy's actions and insecurities. Screenshot her message to you and send them to your parents and put it on record your not attending was at Lindy's jealous behest NTA. But seriously, if the parents expect your involvement they need to know the truth of why you weren't there. Beck 2010. 4753. NTA, he can't have his cake and eat it. As in, he can't refuse to do something about the problem then get mad at you for doing something about the problem. I understand why you didn't want to go and it'd probably do the same. His girlfriend doesn't seem worth the mental energy and she's clearly got insecurities that you shouldn't have to deal with. Rowan X3. 2480. NTA. Miles GF is insanely insecure and jealous of you. You've tried talking to Miles about it and he won't do anything about it. You're basically getting threatening messages from her at this point. Of course you don't want to be around her. Your parents should understand that their relationship with Miles' parents is just that, their relationship. It's not a family function. Whatever they wish it to be. The onus shouldn't fall on you to maintain a friendship with Miles if it isn't working for you. Under the current circumstances, I do hope you two can work things out since you've been friends for so long. But you don't have to if it doesn't work for you. And you don't need to feel guilty about it. Kiwi Honey. 12,433. You, re-NTA, XA0 greater than Lindy is mad that I made it all about myself, XA0 number. She did that with her helicopter girlfriend attitude and threats to supervise you. Greater than now he is upset with me for missing his birthday, XA0 he should have dealt with her rabid insecurities and rude behavior when you warned him about what she was doing. XA0. Ditto head forever. 839. 9. Just show him the texts. See, this is why I didn't come, believe me. People like that never change. He might be able to get her to shut up for the most part. But she, never not be that jealous petty person and you, have to deal with snarky remarks until the end of time or they break up. I have a best friend just like her. Wouldn't date her in a million years though. Awkward _concern _9329. 1415. NTA. Standing up for your own mental well-being is crucial. And you've done just that. It might feel rough right now but setting boundaries in response to Lindy's behavior was the right move. No one should be coerced into a hostile environment. Especially when the supposed supervision comes off as possessive and overbearing. Your absence isn't the root of the drama. It's the symptom of a larger issue between Miles and Lindy that they need to handle. It's unfortunate that it collided with a significant event, but sometimes avoiding a scene is the best gift you can give a friend. Even if they don't realize it at the time. You might want to consider a heart-to-heart with Miles. Laying out your discomfort without assigning blame. Hoping that as a longtime friend, He'll eventually see the effect Lindy's actions are having on his relationships. Jerry_Montesino, 69. AITA for telling my mill that she made her bed and she can rot in it for all I care? Am I the asshole? Unhappy_plankton_287. NTA. She is being unreasonable and it makes complete sense why you wouldn't want her in your child's life. She has a history of bullying her family and you are not obligated to let her do the same to your child. Also, if your GF is on your side, her opinion on this matters more than your parents'. Popperbopper. 7492. Enthaven, if she was the best parent in the world, it's still not up to her what you name your kids. And it's not like she just did a suggestion either, she made a demand and said if you don't obey shall never see her grandkid. Well, it backfired because you called her bluff and now she's upset about it. Also, your parents are just plain wrong. Mill has chosen to be a downright awful person and that comes with consequences that no one wants to be around her, and the only one who can change her behavior is her, but don't count on that, as people like her can't even comprehend that they're not the center of the world. Edenile, 1247. INTA. Protect yourself, your wife and the little being at all costs from this toxic person. You all should go and see with Mill. Phil can visit you at your house without her so he can have a relationship with the baby. Good luck. Update me. Chapter present 4773. 605. 100. NTA. Your parents weren't there and I am guessing they don't know all of the details of the dynamic relationship with your GF's mom, so they're not really in a place to judge. Stranger 0n Reddit. 202. NTA. Wasn't T. Mill just threatening to never be in the child's life 2 seconds before being told, your terms are acceptable? She was bluffing. But you aren't T, and I hope you stick to your guns on this point. Keep toxic people far away from your children. Mill sounds like the sort where if you look up toxic in the dictionary, you find her picture. Either_coconut. 183. NTA. In case no one has mentioned it yet, your GF needs to lock her medical records with a password so that Mill can't wiggle around HIPAA and try access information. As the time approaches for your low to make their appearance, be sure that she does the same with her birthing plan. It is her call who can be in the delivery room with her and who she wants to keep out. This information should be given to your hospital birthing center in writing and again password protected. Taking care of it in advance will give her one less thing to worry about during labor and delivery. Oh, and good for you and your very shiny spine. Your GF is very fortunate to have you in her corner. Bunny Slayer 64. 140. Deleted. 197. AITA for telling my overweight friend that I maintain my body through a healthy lifestyle. Not genetics? Am I the asshole? Longjumping_shine 664. NTA, you absolutely did not screw up and didn't say anything wrong. They brought up the weight and calorie intake. They incorrectly assumed genetics and not all the effort you put into your daily activity to train like you do. Could genetics help? Sure, but you wouldn't be where you are on genetics alone. It takes a lot of work, especially for marathons. My old boss did Ironman all the time and it was insane what he had to do to keep it up. If your friends don't want to talk about weight, don't bring it up and make assumptions. Giving tips to avoid failure is not privilege. Also, the double standard being held against you isn't right. Rue gets to say anything she wants because she's overweight, but because you are fit you have to endure what she says without saying anything back. That's not fair and should NT be tolerated. Good luck on your next event. Quote, Deep Fudge 9235. 10264. Or, is it possible that what you intended to say didn't come out quite as you had thought it did? It is a bit odd that all of these good friends were immediately taken aback by what you said. Either they are all jealous of your physical accomplishments and not willing to recognize the hard work you put in, or what you said came out poorly. There are some people who exercise faithfully and watch their diet carefully and still struggle with their metabolisms. Not sure if this describes any of your friends, but if so, you may have unintentionally shamed her for something that is less in her control. Although diet and exercise play a huge part in our physical appearance and condition, studies have shown that some people struggle more to maintain their weight, even when all other factors are the same. Our genetics do play a part. This isn't to take away from the hard work you do, but to acknowledge that your body also does respond well to your efforts, which isn't the case for everyone. In general, it is sad that you and your friends are sitting and talking about weight in general. If you only see each other once a year, it would seem there are many more valuable things to talk about, potentially. Although I think it could be unintentionally for Cute Designer 8122, 578, NTA. But you will never win with these people. I am like you. I have always been active. I take stairs. I walk. I rollerblade. I bike. I get up and do stuff all the time, and I am in great shape for being 46 years old. People constantly talk about my good genetics, not the fact that I grew up getting around on a bicycle and never stopped. I never sat home as a teen because I didn't have a car or a ride. If I had wheels, I rode them. If I didn't have wheels, I walked. Stephen Wright says, everywhere is walking distance if you have the time. While he was lightly joking, I took it seriously. I often had to leave 1 to 2 hours before a friend would be home, just to meet them on time. So no, it is not genetics aside from diagnosed illnesses and disabilities. It pretty much comes down to being someone who will get up and do something instead of sitting around dreading it or just putting it off. Before anyone starts, I have been diagnosed with ADHD, ASD and dyslexia. Full_description_ 2990. Your friends shouldn't comment on what you re-eating. Period. You didn't bring it up. They got no rights to comment. They should keep their insecurities to themselves. However, it sounds like all of your friends were commenting. Even if Rue was the one who started talking first, so it probably would have been better to just shut them all down. Not make the interaction about giving advice to fixing Rue's habits. Although she was rude first, it didn't improve anything that you also commented about her body and habits uninvited. You also put focus on Rue when all of your friends were behaving inappropriately. So you weren't really getting to the heart of resolving the issue. You were just piling onto it. In general, why all should just stop commenting on each other's bodies or healthy habits unless one of you asks for advice. Wandersong Wright, 2423. ESHU. The first thing you said was fine because it was about you. How you don't eat that way every day. The second thing you said was not. It was an assumption about what Rue eats every day. And saying something would slow her progress is judgmental. Rue's an for making comments about your food and your body. Friends are joining in the talk about your food habits and body shape, and calling you privileged about it. Maybe now is the time in the group text to come to an agreement to not talk about other people's food, eating, body shape, etc., and just enjoy the company instead. This really seems doable for one meal a year. Stringtowny, 797. NTA Rue should shut the fuck up about other people's weight and calorie intake if she can dish it and can't take it. Larry Fisherman, 555. 450. NTA. They started by commenting on your body first. Any form of commenting on somebody's body to the point that makes them uncomfortable, whether good or bad, is not okay. Also, you mentioning your routine validates that it did take you hard work to get there, and this may have made them insecure and feel like they're being shamed for not doing the same. Even if you didn't mean it that way, BC, it's a personal insecurity they have and twisted it in their heads to make themselves feel better. But all in all, they brought up your body first and you merely replied. Kamaskow 202 AITA for telling my fiancé what his stepmother tried to do after she asked me not to. Am I the asshole? Classic P7203 3. NTA, I know Jamie would detest my demand to have my shining moment at your wedding. But can you help me ambush him so social pressure will hopefully force him into doing what I feel I am entitled to? Also, can you not tell him I ask you to help orchestrate this betrayal? Your loyalty lies with the person you rebuilding a life with. Protecting your partner is the priority. And you did exactly what you should have. Stepmom's refusal to be accountable in any way for trying to prioritize her needs via betrayal tells me why your fiancé keeps her at a distance. Dragon Celica 5829 NTA. His wedding day is not the time to try and ambush him into having a stepmother-stepson moment. You were 100% spot on with telling Jamie about this. You don't need to be trustworthy to Ellen. You need to be trustworthy to your future spouse. Coastal Kid 92 420 NTA. My rule is that if I tell someone anything, I expect their spouse will know it by the time they go to bed. And once you accept that, life and secrets etc. is just a lot easier. She put you in an awful situation, and she should not have expected that you would withhold this from Jamie. You did the right thing by telling him. And should NT feel for a moment that it was wrong, you're his partner, and it's going to be official soon. Her asking you to start that with a secret between you at the actual ceremony is absolutely incredible to me. If I were you, I'd be going back to Ellen and telling her off for trying to do that to you. It was wrong of her to ask you to keep a secret like that from your future husband, and jeopardizes the entire concept of what a marriage is. I know I am being a bit hyperbolic, but it's a serious issue to me. The Sweeter Peter 1032 NTA. The audacity of Ellen trying to weaponize your loyalty to get her way at your wedding is frankly absurd. Weddings should be about celebrating the couple, not indulging in selfish fantasies of what could have been in other relationships. It's not just about the breach of trust but the complete disregard for Jamie's feelings on his special day. You did the right thing. There's always going to be a level of transparency between couples that those outside the relationship aren't entitled to disrupt. It's heartening to see your instinct was to protect your fiancé from what was, at best, an uncomfortable situation waiting to blindside him, and at worst, a complete disregard for his autonomy. It's clear that Ellen has a pattern of overstepping boundaries, and it would be wise to remain vigilant. Your wedding should be about joy and love, not navigating the minefield of someone else's ego. Maintain those boundaries firmly and focus on the love you and Jamie share. Best of luck for a wedding that's everything you both hope for, full of happiness and free of unwanted drama. NTA. Jerry_Montesino 74 Make sure you brief the DJ or band that nobody can request songs but you. She may try to ambush again and keep the microphone away from her during speeches. Ask his dad or one of the relatives to keep an eye on her so you can enjoy your wedding. Tasty Mall 8577 178 He was so young when she came into his life, yet she couldn't get him to like her. It's not that hard to get a child to like you. If she was pulling this manipulative shit his whole life, I am not surprised he doesn't think of her as his mom. A kid is a developing human, not an accessory. They deserve basic human respect, and if you give them that, unless something else is going on, they're more than likely to accept you. Makes me think she pulled an "I am your mother now" after his mum died and it was all downhill from there. Reaper Scythe. 49. Fort NTA. Ellen is a piece of work. Though, I wouldn't blame you guys if you disinvited her to the entire wedding. Good on you for not entertaining her insane request. What kind of deluded person thinks it's okay to spring a surprise mother-son dance on their stepchild at their wedding so they can have their moment when they know their stepchild doesn't want it? That's selfish and cruel and just disgusting. You did exactly the right thing. Y'all cannot trust Ellen at all with anything to do with the wedding or, frankly, with anything ever. I can't imagine what it's going to be like if you two have kids. She's going to be a nightmare. I hope you manage to have a beautiful and drama-free wedding. Kiwi Honey. 204.